正解。
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 115. Military power taken away. There was never a shortage of new and fresh things in the Ding capital. Whenever there was any movement, it would be spread all over the skies the next day. If it implicate whichever famous person, naturally one would talk about it for 3 days and nights. When talking about such things, some were joking but some genuinely spoke undeservedly about the people involved. In today's excitement, there were people talking about the formidable great General Shin that no one could compare in terms of limelight. Tamed the pirates, fought the Xiongnu and went on expedition all year in the northwestern region. Did not claim credit, not proud. Impressive list of military exploits and protecting the country. All these were talking about the military lineage of the Shen family. Ever since old General Shen, the Shen family relied on meritorious services and won prestige among the people in Mingqi. Unfortunately, among the old General Shen's 3 sons, only the eldest, Shen Xin, inherited his mantle and continued to take the military official route. It was fortunate that, like his father, Shen Xin lived up to the name of the formidable great General Shen, and even Shen Xin's son, Shen Kaiyu, was also a brave general in the battlefield. When fighting a tiger, one relied on blood brothers. When fighting a war, one relied on father and sons. Shen Xin was not temperamental in the army and when in battle would be at the forefront, and getting together with the military lineage tigress Luo Zuyan became a legend for a generation. The commoners in Mingqi respected Shen Xin in their heart, and if anything was not good, it would be that Shen Xin's daughter did not inherit any outstanding attributes and was an idiot. However, even if his daughter was an idiot, when one mentioned Shen Xin, the commoners would still favor and support. But now, with an offense of lying to the monarch, the commoners were dumbfounded. It was not a small fight, nor was it a family issue. It was lying to a monarch, and that was a serious offense that could easily make one's family be confiscated. Early in the morning, the officials in the court surrounded the Shen residence, saying to search for evidence. The commoners only knew that Shen Xin had a lying to the monarch offense, but did not know what kind of offense, or how did he lie to the emperor. How would such a good person like the General Shen lie to the monarch? Correct. Last time my child was being naughty and shocked Shen Furen's horse, but not only Shen Furen did not place any blame, she still apologized with a gift. They are such good people. Could it be that His Majesty be mistaken? Hey, what mistaken? One heard that this is a thing that is cast in stone. There is even evidence. Someone said softly, even though one did not know why. One heard that it was His Highness Prince Ding that personally brought down General Shen. His Highness Prince Ding. Yes, think about it. His Highness Prince Ding will definitely not falsify it. One cannot say for sure, but it might be because 5th young Shen lady once admired His Highness Prince Ding and was humiliated, so in order to vent for his daughter, General Shen did something apologetic to His Majesty. Ah, speaking as such, then this is possible. It is a pity for the entire family of the General Shen that was made miserable by that daughter. The commoners' discussions were not soft. Even though Shen Miao was standing at the residence's door, she could hear them clearly. The people of the residence were all standing at the doors of the residence, so that the court's soldiers could enter to search. Shen Yu feigned fear and hid behind Chen Rikayu before looking sympathetically at Shen Miao. 5th younger sister, how could these people talk about you? What eldest Bo did had no relation to you? Shen Miao coldly looked at those fierce sauters and smiled when she heard all this. The first time she was truly blind and was labeled as the idiot who fell in love with Prince Ding, and that name was really extremely disgusting. Seeing Shen Miao not speaking, Shen Yu thought that she had no words to retort, and in an instant her eyes were proud. But she stood there without saying anything. After old Shen Furen determined that Shen Xin would not implicate her, she then settled her heart and put on an attitude of a matriarch and angrily scolded, "How did the oldest one do such a thing and turn back on the monarch and our Shen family's generations of loyalty?" If the general was here, this would be a total loss of reputation and face. He would not even look at the oldest one, devastating the reputation of the Shen family. When Shen Miao heard that, her heart was moved and she looked at old Shen Furen. What is grandmother saying? Father is also a member of the Shen family and the Shen family is connected to father as one. How could one not bother about father now? When father was bestowed rewards from his majesty, grandmother said that for the Shen family to gain such a son, it is the good fortune of the Shen family. Words spoken were like spilt water. Grandmother had forgotten about them again. When the crowd of commoners heard this, their eyes quickly looked towards old Shen Furen. Old Shen Furen did not say such aggravating stuff like right now, when the formidable great general military exploits were outstanding and when His Majesty gave bestowments. Originally a family, so all glory and loss should be shared. How was that this old Shen Furen was one that could share fortune, but not hardship? Once seeing others going through a misfortune, she could not wait to draw the relationship cleanly. When old Shen Furen realized that the gaze of the people was hostile, she became angry but did not know how to continue her words, and could only look at Chen Rikayu. Shen Gui and Shen Wan went to court, and the only one who could hold the fort was Chen Rikayu. Chen Rikayu smiled. Fifth daughter, how could old Furen mean what you said? Old Furen is only angry. You also know that our Shen family has always been living honestly, and how would one lie to the monarch? If the late old general was aware of it, he would also blame your father. After your father did such a thing, how would the Shen family carry on in the future? When old Shen Furen saw Chen Rikayu helping, her steps got firm and found Chen Rikayu more pleasing to her eyes. She nodded. Correct. Your father made a mistake and still do not allow others to speak about it. Shen Dongling and Wan Yinayang stood at the side. Naturally they had no power to speak anything and could only watch on quietly, not speaking. Shen Miao said, so speaking as such, can it be that grandmother want to draw a clear line and expel my father out of the family before letting the matter drop? As soon as she heard that, Chen Rikayu's heart dropped but she did not have time to stop to think. When she saw old Shen Furen's eyes brightened as she spoke with indignation, such a unscrupulous descendant, naturally should be expelled from the Shen family. Grandmother is really that heartless. My father is current still behind bars and grandmother did not even help. Shen Miao's eyes hang down. Seeing Shen Miao lowered head and weak appearance, old Shen Furen suddenly felt happy. Previously one was pressured by the eldest household and everything was not smooth, thus the uncomfortable feeling in one's heart was swept away at the moment. The happier she was the more her voice had a tone of righteousness. The Shen family have been virtuous and loyal for generations, and this old one will rather carry the reputation of heartless and make a decision of old master. This kind of person cannot enter our Shen family's ancestors' hall. From today onwards, Shen Xin's family is expelled from the Shen family. Old Shen Furen said it very carefully but did not see the discoloration of Chen Rikayu's face. Even though it was natural to draw the relationship clearly, but for old Shen Furen to be that clear was not a smart move. When such gestures fall into everyone's eyes, they are not fools and would not stand on the side of the Shen residents. Thinking of that, Chen Rikayu smiled to Shen Miao and said, Fifth daughter, old Furen did not mean that. She is only infuriated by eldest brother, thus spoke like this. Fifth daughter, after a few days old Furen will not be angry and it would not be like this. Shen Yu did not understand why her own mother said such things. Was not it good to let old Shen Furen chase Shen Miao out? Now that Shen Xin and the rest were carrying the charges of lying to the monarch, even if the death sentence was avoided due to their meritorious service over the years, punishment could not be escaped. Thus one would be in extreme dire straits. To chase this entire family in dire straits out, perhaps they might not even have a place of their own, and this was indeed a happy thought for her. Third Shen Furen need not say more. Shen Miao said loudly, since old Furen value the Shen family's social status that greatly, that she does not attach any importance to relationships, then what more can I say? Since it is as such, then why not just part like this? Stay vastly apart and do as one like, so as to not damage the social status of the Shen family. Her words were sarcastic. It is difficult to move out in such a short time. Wait till the officials have completed their searching. I will naturally pack up and move out when father and mother returns. One will not defile the Shen family any one bit." She said it with anger, like a proud young girl that was forced to a point of resentment, but if one were to listen carefully, there was no way to turn around her words. Shenzin and wife were people who loved their daughter, so if they knew that during the time when they entered the palace, their daughter was almost forced by the Shen family out of the doors, one fear that ultimately there would be a list of debts to be settled. Suddenly there was an uproar among the commoners, as they did not think that they would see such a good show here. It was just that old Shen Furen's attitude were very unpleasant, and on the contrary, the fifth young lady Shen, who was known as an idiot, was pleasant and attractive, but was forced to such a position. Thus they could not help but sympathize with her, and lean towards her side. Chen Rikyu was secretly shocked and looked at Shen Miao quietly, as it was too late to say anything else. To quarrel like this in front of so many commoners, less than half a day the entire Ding capital would be aware of this news. Even though by drawing clearly the line between the Shen family and Shenzin was to the benefit of the Shen family, but there was a feeling of faint anxiety in Chen Rikyu's heart. Shen Miao had been leading everyone by their noses, whether it was old Shen Furen saying about kicking Shenzin out of the residence, or how now everyone was sympathizing and siding with her. But why did Shen Miao do that? And now to think of it, it looked like Shen Miao was using old Shen Furen words for Shenzin to get rid of the Shen family. Chen Rikyu could not help but think of the matter of the eldest household separating from the family. Naturally old Shen Furen was not willing to let the eldest household take away the fortune, but once Shenzin and wife make the decision, it would not be easy to change it. At that time they were about to look at other residents, who knew that such a matter would happen. One thought that it would not be possible to separate from the family, but did not expect that at this moment, the matter would be raised up, and under the watchful eyes of everyone, one would not be able to go back on it in the future. Old Shen Furen was not happy that Chen Rikyu was helping Shen Miao. And afterwards when she saw that Shen Miao was discriminating and spoke of the Shen family as worthless, she was then happy. She gave a cold scoff and brought her personal maids into the courtyard, not caring of the sentiment of the commoners. Chen Rikyu hesitated for a moment before bringing Shen Yu in. Wan Yinayang wanted to also follow in, but saw Shen Dongling letting go of her hand and walking up. Fifth younger sister, Shen Dongling called her. This seemed to be the first time Shen Dongling called her. Shen Miao eyes were hanging down as she faintly replied, "Third older sister." Fifth younger sister need not worry. Shen Dongling looked soft and weak, but her smile was soft. Eldest Bo will definitely be alright. Eldest Bo is not a person who lies to the monarch, thus the truth of the matter will eventually come out. Shen Miao's expression was unchanged, thanking third older sister. Shen Dongling then smiled and turned around to walk to Wan Yinayang, pulling her towards the door. "Young lady." Jings came over to ask, "What is third young lady's intention?" The ruckus that Shen Miao created had showed the broken relationship in the Shen residence, but Shen Dongling really came at the right, not fearing that old Shen Furen will place the blame on her. Shen Miao did not speak and watched the retreating figure and shook her head thoughtfully. After walking through the door and seeing that there was no one around, Wan Yinayang said softly, "Ling what is with you just now? Why did you even dare to butter up fifth young lady? If old Furen saw it, she will definitely tell your father." Shen Gui did not see eye to eye with the first household, and it would be weird if Shen Gui was happy after knowing that Shen Dongling quickly went up to please the first household. "Rest assured Yinayang." Shen Dongling smiled, "They are not able to beat fifth young sister." "What?" Wan Yinayang was stunned. Shen Dongling pursed her lips and pulled Wan Yinayang forward. "Do not ask," and returned back. Such a big event befell on the Shen family that even the commoners were alerted, so naturally the court was filled with angry an atmosphere at the moment. In the palace great hall, Emperor Wenhua was sitting on the throne and his face was so dark that it could drip blood. Looking at all the officials in court, he threw the memorandum on hand to the nearest high-ranked official with a paw. When that memorandum smacked the official's face, he did not dare to speak a single word and immediately went down on his knees. "Shenzin and wife, including Shen Kaiyu, had not left the palace after entering, and no one outside knew what was going on, but the officials were well aware that Shen Xin and wife were arrested by Emperor Wenhu. As for the reason why they were arrested, it was something that requires no additional thinking. There were some issues with them, and thus the emperor wanted to handle them. All the officials well understood such a simple logic and would generally kept silent. But Emperor Wenhua's expression was strange. Count of Pingnan, speak about it. Emperor Wenhua specifically called him out. Count of Pingnan, Su Yu, was very smart on his feet, and other officials quickly turned their attention onto him. Su Yu thought about the conversation he had yesterday night with Su Mingfeng, and no longer hesitated to pull a memorandum from his sleeves, and went up to pass it to the gong gong by the emperor's side for him to present it to Emperor Wenhu, replying, Your Majesty. This officially also find that the formidable great general had acted boldly and did not respect the imperial family. Thus request Your Majesty to punish Shen Xin heavily, executing 9 degrees of relatives. It was still alright for the officials who were close with Su Yu to hear about executing 9 levels of relatives, but those officials that did not have any relations with Su Yu were in total shock. All along, Count Nanbo's action had been gentle and was regarded as a good old man, who knew that once he spoke, he wanted Shen Xin's life, and his spoken words are just too heavy. Emperor Wenhua's hands that were holding the memorandum quivered, and his eyes were staring straight at Su Yu. Su Yu nodded his head and had an impassionate appearance. Reporting to Your Majesty. At the other end, the Marquis of Linen, Ziding, who had been silent, said, Shen Xin have to conduct himself with dignity when using military powers, and to dare to resist the orders of Your Majesty outside. One fear that he long had a treasonous heart. This official also agree with Su Daren's words of executing 9 degrees of relatives. Everyone's gaze were at Ziding and Su Yu. Everyone knew that the Su and Zi family's relationship was deep, and that these two families' relations were very thin with the Shen family. Now that Shen Xin was in a mishap, since the Su and Zi families were ants on the same rope, they would definitely go over and kick a few times for satisfaction. Emperor Wenhua's eyes were uncertain. Originally, when Fu Ziyu sent over these evidences, he was extremely satisfied. His eyes were already on the Shen family, this piece of fatty meat, but was unable to find any opportunity. With Fu Ziyu's evidence, no matter what, at least one would be able to easily reclaim the military power from the Shen family. Who knew that this morning, when this matter was mentioned, the officials actually recommended to severely punish Shen Xin. Shen Xin was often in battle at the northwestern region, and did not have deep friendship with the officials in court. Emperor Wenhua had long expected that there would be many people who did not like Shen Xin, but did not expect that it would be this much. Those who were pleading for leniency for Shen Xin were practically only a few. The emperor's heart was always filled with suspicion. Thus, if there were many officials who spoke up for Shen Xin, Emperor Wenhua would suspect that Shen Xin was close with the officials secretly. But if there were more people impeaching Shen Xin, then Emperor Wenhua would be rest assured with Shen Xin, as an official with a treasonous heart would not make so many enemies for oneself. If those officials' impeachment made Emperor Wenhua have some hesitation, then the Count of Pingnan's and Marquis of Linen's executing 9 degrees of relatives made Emperor Wenhua suspicious. The Shen, Su and Zi families were thorns in Emperor Wenhua's heart, not mentioning about how these officials were, but it was only the reputation and military power these big families had, that made Emperor Wenhua unable to sleep soundly. How would one allow another to sleep soundly at the couch beside them? Emperor Wenhua would not let families that had the ability to threaten the imperial power exist. The Su and Zi families were twisted together like a rope. Unfortunately, the Shen family was incompatible with both families like fire and water, else Emperor Wenhua's heart would suffer greatly. If one were to really follow what the Su and Zi family's words meant, then in the entire land of Mingqi, there would not be any forces to contend with the Su and Zi families. By letting the Su and Zi families grow, it would only unstabilize his dragon seat, aka throne. For the first time, Emperor Wenhua felt that it is hard to get off after riding a tiger. He only wanted to reclaim part of the military power, and still retained the Shen family to check and balance the Su and Zi families, but now, there was no one who was willing to speak for Shenzhen. Emperor Wenhu only felt pained and a headache. He slowly asked back, executing 9 degrees of relatives? Usually with this kind of question, the officials could see that His Majesty's expression was not correct, but one did not know what went on in Ziding's head as he actually raised his neck and said, "Yes." Emperor Wenhua closed his eyes, and when he looked at Ziding again, it was as if he could see his wolf-like ambition under his skin. Su Yu was somewhat worried, but there was not a slightest trace of it on the surface, and still had an appearance as if Ziding's words were very reasonable. Finally a lower-ranked general stepped out. Although this time General Shen was headstrong and rash, the offense is not as heavy as death. Since one had made contributions for the court earlier, one can atone for the offenses by meritorious acts. Your Majesty is benevolent, and one hoped that by remembering the Shen family's army constant battles to protect the country, the sentencing would be lenient. This lower-ranked general had not bad relations with Shenzhen, and most likely saw that the current situation was unfavorable to Shenzhen, and finally could not tolerate and stood up for Shenzhen. Emperor Wenhua had been waiting for someone to say that, but one did not know that Shenzhen's relationship skills were that bad, that no one was willing to speak for him. Once this low-ranked general spoke, Emperor Wenhua's brows stretched out. Beloved official's words are right. Even though General Shi is guilty now, previously he had made numerous meritorious contribution, thus by saying about executing 9 degrees of relatives, would be that Zen do not care about old affections. Your Majesty must absolutely not. Su Yu quickly knelt down on the ground. General Shen even dared to lie to a monarch. One do not know what he will do in the future. Ziding quickly said, Your Majesty, it is precisely so. Please think twice. The more both of them said as such, the more suspicions Emperor Wenhua had. He did not look at the both of them but at that lower-ranked general, and faced the entire court of civil and military officers. When the old General Shen was alive, he had accompanied the late emperor through life and death. For generations the Shen family has been loyal, and the formidable great General Shen, Shenzhen, is incomparably brave and fierce. He had returned back at the end of the year defeating the Zhirong, and this can be considered as atonement for the offenses. Zen is not a despot monarch that will be executing 9 degrees of relatives. Shenzhen's family is innocent in this. Your Majesty is wise. That low-ranked general quickly knelt down. Emperor Wenhui waved his hands. It is just that Shenzhen had done that offense. Zen still have to punish him. Passed the order down and retrieve the military tally of the Shen family army, and deduct Shenzhen's salary for a year. The Shen family's army would be transferred to another person to command. As for the rest, they will be integrated into the Guilin army. Everyone sucked in a cold air and their eyes were all strange. If one say that Emperor Wenhua was cruel, he did not take or harm any lives in the Shen family. But if one say that Emperor Wenhua was warm, he retrieved the military tally right from the start. The military tally could command 3 armies, and for a general, once the military tally was lost, it meant like a soldier losing one's life on the battlefield. However, the front of the Shen family's army were just a few unrelated soldiers, and the real Shen family's army was integrated into the Guilin army, meaning that all the troops that Shenzhen had painstakingly trained now belonged to the imperial family. The officials were distressed. No wonder Emperor Wenhua said it so generously, as he already held the other's lifeblood in his hands. Even though Shenzhen escaped, this formidable great general is now an empty shell and not a deterrent force anymore. Leaving the reputation of the Shen family was only to balance the rest of the other aristocratic family's power. After Emperor Wenhua finished speaking, he waved his hands board before, end of court. And with his remark, it would not be long before Shenzhen and wife, including Shen Kaiyu, would be released from the palace. Only at that time Shenzhen and wife would be facing the deprivation of their military power, and one would not know if they could came out of it. Emperor Wenhua brushed his sleeves and left, leaving the officials to look at each other in dismay. No one had expected that this large-scale event would be dealt in such a simple way. One could say that this had become a matter of removing the commanding position. So would Shenzhen be angry and start cursing? Su Yu patted the dust on his knees, and when he stood up, he saw Ziding tidying up his clothes. He walked closer to Ziding and softly said, "What is with you just now? Why did you suddenly speak?" Although Su Mingfeng had spoken to Su Yu and he had promised to submit an impeachment, but at the end he did not want to involve his good friend in this muddy water. The Zi family was facing a more complicated situation than them, and if it implicated the Zi family, Su Yu would blame himself to death. That was why Su Yu informed his colleagues of the matter, but did not tell Ziding. One did not expect that Ziding actually went according to his words, and almost angered Emperor Wenhu. Ziding shook his head. "When you spoke, I knew what kind of idea you were thinking about. Since you wanted to help Shenzhen, then I will help, but this is solely for you." Ziding was an old fox that had played in court for so many years. Compared to Shenzhen, who only knew about fighting battles, Ziding knew the inner workings of the court better. He could see that Su Yu was using an alternate strategy to help Shenzhen, so he went along with it with an added fire in. Hearing that, Su Yu was somewhat frustrated. He felt that his good friend temperament was like the same as Ziding's son, Zijing Crossing. Thinking of Zijing Xing, Su Yu was surprised for a moment. "That is right. I heard from Mingfeng that Jing Xing had requested for commander. Is this matter true?" Mingfeng also know? Ziding shook his head and sighed. "Yes, it is true." "Is Jing Xing crazy?" Su Yu said, unfathomable. "The northern Zhong is not a joking place." "Old Si, are you really assured? Does me being assured or not matter?" Ziding was very helpless. When was I able to manage the decisions that he had made before? Now I can only hope that he will be safe. This is the consequence of the sin I had created, so I am paying for it now. Actually, it is also not your fault. Su Yu's heart was a little sour when he heard it. One wrong step leads to all steps wrong. These years Ziding had been tortured due to the matter that happened years ago. His conscience was not calm and his son was not close. One would feel sad as a bystander. So Ziding himself must be even more upset. He diverted the topic, heard that this time the memorandum that indicated Shenzhen's offenses was submitted by the 9th Prince, Prince Ting. But why did one not see him today? It seemed that His Majesty sent him to inspect the Ministry of Works. Ziding frowned. One do not know what he will think when he find out about the matter today. What could one think? Su Yu laughed coldly. The thing that one wanted is in the bag. So it does not matter if those few heads stay or not. Seeing Su Yu like this for the first time, Ziding was somewhat surprised and asked, "That is right, you have not said why did you suddenly help Shenzhen? When did you start to have a friendship with the Shen family?" Su Yu saw that they had walked far away and there was no one around. Then he whispered to Ziding, "How is it me? It is my son, Mingfeng. He spoke to me at night that His Majesty is only using the Shen family as an opening, and once the matter with the Shen family is over, it would inevitably be followed by my Su family." What happened in court was quickly spreading throughout the residence. Emperor Wenhua retained Shenzhen's family life, but in terms of responsibility he has withered. It made the commoners lament that the imperial family was kind. Not only that, by seeing how Emperor Wenhua treated Shenzhen so leniently, everyone all speculated that the prestige of Shenzhen had not diminished, and that the imperial family valued them greatly in their heart. Thus their future is not as bleak as one thought before. The amateurs were watching the bustle, but the experts were watching the way it was done. The commoners did not understand, but as officials, they could clearly see that without military power, the Shen family was like a toothless tiger, only looked good without substance, and the prestige had long passed. In the Shen residence, Shen Gui and Shen Wen were talking about the matter, and as to how Shenzhen ended up like this, even though it was not a severe punishment as they thought, by him losing the military power was something that made both of them satisfied. This was because it meant that Shenzhen's reputation and prestige had become significantly lower than them. In the western courtyard, when Jings told the news to Shen Miao, She just finished her lunch, young lady. Jings looked at Shen Miao's leisurely appearance and her mind was determined as she asked, young lady is not at all worried, is it because even if one does not have military power, it was not as bad as what outside was saying? Shen Miao wiped her mouth on the handkerchief. Do not be afraid. What is yours cannot run away, and what is not yours cannot be stolen or snatched.